across an ocean or something. Hey, where are you located? 483. Like I said, I'm Missouri. I may be guessing you're in the Southwest?
No, actually, I'm southeast. I'm 30 miles west of the east coast of South Carolina, just outside of Charleston, QSL.
QSL, Charleston. Have you been hearing any Western Europe? I heard 813 Georgia, he was working 124 in South Africa in the Indian Ocean.
Well, that's actually who I was trying to get. I came out here just to see if anything was happening, and I heard 124 talking to South Carolina Mobile, so I ran in, grabbed my phone so I could get me some video, and by the time I got out here, somebody, I'm not exactly sure where they were talking to somebody in California, and they sounded like locals, so I couldn't even hear him anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, good luck. Maybe you can get Steve over there, 124, over there in the Indian Ocean on the east coast of Africa. Hey, UDX 483, here's World Radio 0317. My name's Nicki. I'm a base station. My antenna is vertical. Good luck. Hey, nice to meet you. And I thought I'd follow you down here and have a listen and learn and then say hello. UDX 483 317. Back to you.
Roger, World Radio 317. Well, I appreciate it. I do. Glad to hear you anytime. I do have the camera running since I started it out trying to get Steven down there. I've actually spoken with him before, but you know, I haven't gotten much out of the States beyond Canada here for quite a while now, and you know, Australia I hear a lot, but I usually don't have a real good chance of getting at them due to mostly Texas and Florida knocking me out of that game. But yeah, that's what it is when you're dealing with the little small station. But hey, it works. It works well for what it is. But you know, I'm dealing with a 5/8 wave ground plane, somewhat of a homebrewed, base of a Mako V5000 with a mast of a high gain CLR2, sitting at about 22 feet at the base, so it does good for what it is.
Oh yeah, so your signal 6 plus and 5, signal 5, and plenty of volume, so you got good equipment, and I got similar equipment here. Back to you.
Roger, I've got you 5.758, good clear audio. I'm happy with conditions this morning. Got basically 0 for noise floor. I run an Anytone Quad 5 Plus. It's terrible for as far as noise blanking. It really is very lackluster in that category. But the rest of it, as far as, you know, transmitting audio, it outperforms itself on that. So I'm really happy with it.
Besides on an image, and I was thinking that's kind of small, and just as the display's good, but the transmit, like the whole radio is kind of small, and it has a menu, but I really like the size of the display and the meter, and everyone I heard out of the box are always, you know, on frequency. Back to you.
Yeah, I actually had the Quad 5 Plus. It's like, it's the size of most of your basic CB. It's, as far as the overall face of it, it's almost like the old Galaxy 88s. It's got the 8 square buttons at the top. It's got the 6 dials across the front and then the channel display, but it's got a huge channel frequency display along with the menu selections that are showing along with it, and then the channel selector display just over the channel knob.
But isn't there two different, like there's a Quad 5 and then an older one that's more like an export radio, right?
Yeah, that's what I've got. The newer one is the N2. That one's got good noise rejection. It's about 60 watts from the factory out of the box, and it's got the mic connector. The mic plug is like the like your Kenwoods and so forth. Mine has got your basic CB 4-pin on the side, with the exception of it does have a powered leg on there for the up-down buttons like the Rangers used to have on the microphone. So in order to use a standard 4-pin mic, you've got to disable that leg on the microphone, or else it'll burn up the radio, which, yeah, as long as you know it, it's okay. But, you know, like I said, as far as the rest of it, and you can do a whole lot of stuff if you get into the service menu, which I haven't ventured. The only thing I've ever done to this beyond straight out of the box was the hold down the buttons to make it able to get into 11 meters, and then turn the mic gain up. That's it.
Yeah, Raj. So that radio too, it's either like I'm using a driver amp, one pill, and that radio too, it's also a little bit too much high PEP, even on the low settings for me to, you know, wasn't interested in it due to that too, because even in turned down, it still think it's like 40 watts, which is a bit hot to drive a little one pill. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger. Now mine, this one will put out about 15 watts at dead key, and depending on where you are, 15 to 20 watts, and it pretty much peps out at about 40 watts. But now, like I said, going into the service menu, you can change all that. You can change the modulation. You can change a lot of things, and a lot of things that probably shouldn't be changed. But I need to do that if I continue using it for other things. But I'm thinking of just getting another radio for running on AM and so forth. But I spend most of my life on single sideband. I love it, you know. And it's running sideband. It really doesn't matter, you know. You don't per se have a dead key. But yeah, I'm running a little antique Texas Star MC250, little 2-pill with Motorola 2470s in it. It gets about 150 watts out of it, and it's good clean audio. I call it old dirty girl. She was nasty dirty when I got her, and didn't work. I cleaned her up and fixed a positive trace that was peeled off of the board, and like I said, she's worked well. She's treated me well. She's like old dirty girl. She put out all day and seems to like doing it.
And I never put a fan on that thing, and I just talked to AM on it. That was years ago, and I think the guy I gave it to, he still uses that thing. He goes up every night up on the hill and just talks on it, and I think he just knows when to let it cool off. But I think it's been going over 20 years. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, this one is. I was watching a few videos on YouTube, and it's possibly the first attempt with a 2-pill from Texas Star, you know, as far as commercially marketed anyway. It's from the early 80s. I've got a Texas Star 350 high drive sitting over here. It's basically like brand spanking new. And I plugged it up, which at that time I probably, my power supply probably wasn't enough to really supply it well. I had a 30 amp power supply, but you know, running on high is really not enough, which I've got a power supply that'll do it now, and I've just never hooked it back up because, you know, with what I had, I was only getting about the same as I was with the MC250, and like I said, she works so well, as I just went back to it.
So is that variable, or is that one like 4 buttons?
Yeah, the high drive is variable. It is the HDV.
Right. So I just got this. This is a not for export Yaesu FC900, and I was looking for one, but not just that ships from Japan. And I finally got one, and I did the channel expansion Mars mod on it. So when I turned it down, it still has its audio, but I'm 18 watts into a 1-pill, and the 1-pill's into a 4-pill, and both of those boxes are sideband, relay, and full bias. Go ahead.
Roger on that. I've toyed with, and I probably still eventually will do it, but I've been looking at the RM Italy KL703 I think it's HD 703. Anyway, it's the 703. It's about a 500 watt PEP. It's got 16 MOSFETs in it. It's 30 watts max drive. Doesn't matter what the dead key is, but it's max 30 pep. They say that I've heard people say they've gotten more than 500 out of it, but I've got some couple buddies over in England and they run them, and he says he runs his at about 400, and he's been running it for 2 years now and no problems out of it, and said he likes it a lot, and it's always good audio. So I've been really looking at one of those, but you know how that goes.
Yeah, those have a nice big chassis on them, so that's good. They got, and the heatsink kind of wraps around the side, and I imagine, and they come with, I think, a fan on them, and they don't require that much current either. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, they actually have the 2 built-in fans, so they're very efficient, and like I said, it doesn't really matter what you got for a dead key as long as you don't overdrive it.
Oh, Roger. So I think I might be not really interfering, but someone has found me because I'm kind of close to channel 38 that ends in a 5. So I'm getting a little bit of quirming here. I think I'm talking to 485. Go ahead. UDX 485 question mark. Do I got it right?
Actually 483, number 3.
Okay, 483. Well, it is nice chatting to you. If you want to continue, maybe we should slide down 20 more if you like.
Yeah, if you like, just tell me wherever you want to go. It's not a problem. I should be able to get there.
Yeah, okay, just go 360.
We go. I made it. You make it?
Oh, I am not here yet. Okay, I'm here.
All right, I'll be back in a minute.
Okay, I'll take finish a couple noodles here.
I hear you, I do. But yeah, I don't think I told you my name, Steve on this end, Sierra Tango Echo Victor Echo. I think you can hear me, so I probably don't need to spell it.
Yeah, it's funny, like I used to do phonetics, and then especially like someone would say Mike, and then they'd do the letter M, they'd use Mike and the letter M in phonetics. Kind of funny.
Yeah, and then you got the, when you get up in the free band, you got a guy that's in another country, and he starts calling countries in his phonetics, and people start calling, yeah, like, and they're going after the country that he's using to spell his country. Yeah, it can be interesting.
Yeah, well, I think the accent that is in Canadian or North American, it sounds good no matter what they're saying, anyhow. So I had it for a while, and I threw it out. I had phonetics, but all in cuss words.
Oh, that could definitely be interesting.
Okay, all right, Steve, hey, I'm going to take a standby. Weren't you going to do something and come back?
Yeah, I'm actually waiting on another phone to charge up, and I'm considering going live on YouTube and doing a live show this afternoon, but I hate coming out with just the one phone for the camera, because then people get in there on the chat and they start asking me questions and stuff, and I don't even know that they're asking me questions.
Oh, yeah, what do you do on your phone? Do you zoom in on just the meter or the whole radio?
No, I do the whole bench, actually. You can see, well, not the whole bench. Most of my bench, you can see a good majority of what's here.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool, yeah. Sometimes I don't like being on YouTube, and when I know it, I kind of, keep quiet.
Yeah, Roger, well, I thought maybe you might have heard me say that I was recording earlier, but just in case you didn't, I am recording. I've actually got about 15 minutes of audio with us, and as long as you don't mind it, I'll put it out there on YouTube.
I knew that, but it absolutely depends on who's doing it and where it's coming from. If you were on the West Coast, I usually don't like it.
I hear you, I do. Yep. Yeah, as a matter of fact, what was it? Thursday was my 3-year anniversary from when I published my first video, and it's been a lot of fun. Like I said, I prefer sideband. It's, you know, I like getting out and having a conversation and seeing where I can get. I like FM. I like FM a lot because it's definitely a challenge to get anywhere. But my first attempt with FM, within the first couple minutes, I talked to Germany and about 150 miles south of the U.S. border into Mexico. I actually got a pastor down there. He works in the prison system, and on the weekend he's the pastor of a church. And I got him before he did his Sunday service one Sunday morning.
Oh, Roger, Steve. So I wish, or I prefer, and it's usually only up on freeband, upper sideband. Everyone sounds better, it propagates better, it's cleaner, it's not as noisy. And above amateur radio 20 meters, that's where upper sideband is on up, you know, through, except for FM repeaters on 10 meters. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, Roger. Well, that's I'm definitely a freebander. I got into radio back, 94, 95, and I was in it for about 5-6 years, and then I moved from one location to another, and I was informed that I sucked as a father and a dad, and my radios weren't welcome in the new house, so I held on to everything, with the exception of radios. Let go of my good radios, but I kept all my amplifiers, everything up until COVID, and then needed money and started getting rid of it, and because of a man buying one of my radios, I ended up back in it. And yeah, I got into freeband back then, and due to, you know, AM, you know, in my location, if you weren't out there to fight, then you may as well leave your radio off.
There's, like, I'm in the middle here, in a little small town. There are no usuals except, you know, 100 miles away on single sideband. There's a group of farmers on AM, but that's, you know, when I'm at work, so, and there's not much going on there, so, there used to be a group of guys that would have the Radju on 38 lower up near Kansas City, but they all kind of lost interest, and maybe they moved on to channel 28 AM. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, same thing here. It got, which, you know, back then in the late 90s, I was running a DNA Maverick 250, so at PEP, you know, driving it good, I could get 850, 900 watts out of it, so I didn't have much problem competing. But, you know, it got to be where, you know, I don't want to argue. If I wanted to argue, I can go in there and piss my wife off. I don't want to do it on the radio. So, but yeah, I love DX. I love talking all over the world. I got it in my sights, and I'm hoping by the end of the year I'm gonna do it. It may be in the next year when getting into the next cycle, but I want to get Japan. This guy down in New Mexico, he keeps getting my Japan. Every time I talk to him, it's like he goes out there with the purpose of getting it, and he gets it a lot. You know, he's positioned great to get it. For me, I very rarely hear Japan, and I can't get it, not from here, not with 150 watts sitting at 22 feet. So.
That clear from the takes a division. And I was like, holy crap, that guy's in Guam, and I got him, and he was a good contact here. You know, he was kind of interested. He knew I was excited and you know, relatively compassionate. And I've enjoyed this hobby so much more in the last 5 years since I got clean and sober, Steve. I'm telling you.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, I definitely understand that. But I would say my trophy, I'd say my trophy is probably Russia. I got a gentleman, what was his name? I can't think of it right off the top of my head, but I heard this call one Sunday morning. It was really loud, and he said Division 50, and I said, I've never talked to 50. I've got to try this. And I started talking. I'm pulling out my phone trying to figure out where it was. When I saw Russia, I said, oh my gosh. And we had a nice little QSO and enjoyed it. Beyond that, Alaska. I've only gotten into Alaska a couple times, but I've gotten a few good contacts out of Alaska. And those two, I would say, were probably the most difficult, and I'd have to say over the top for me.
Hey, that's pretty good. Steve, I gotta let this cool off here. I got a foam filter cover over my fanny tank, and I want to go check the temps and take that filter off and let it get some air. So I'm gonna let my shit cool off here for a little while, okay?
Yeah, Roger, for sure. Definitely no problem. Gosh, I forgot your name. What's your name again?
Here's Nicki here, WR, and there's a 0317, Whiskey Radio 0317, Nicki. My antenna is vertical on West Missouri, about 80 miles east of Kansas City here, out in the middle of rural Missouri, rolling Ozark Hills, and not too far from Lake of the Ozarks. Hello.
Roger, Nicki. Well, definitely, pleasure was all mine. I appreciate you following me down, and so we can make the contact nice, clear, no interference. Definitely for good audio, and I've enjoyed it. I hope to do it again for sure. It's always nice. Most of the world radios are definitely good contacts, and this one is definitely no different. Always good to hear another good operator out there. And I got a few people out there in Missouri I talk to frequently, and you may know of him.